Okay, let's try some more examples using the chain rule. We'll start right here with number 4. So this number 4 gets a little weirder because I'm going to want to rewrite this as 3 cosine of theta all squared. Now, when it's written like that, it's a little easier to see that the mommy function is 3u squared. So I'm going to take the derivative of the mommy function, so 6u times by the derivative of the baby function, derivative of cosine is negative sine, and then finally substitute u back in. So I got 6, let's see, my u was cosine of theta, times by negative sine of theta. And there we go. Okay, I'm going to have you try g of x in number 5, but before I do, I'm going to have you rewrite this to the negative 1. Now, some of you may ask, hey, Mrs. Johnson, can I do quotient rule on that? Absolutely. You could do the quotient rule on number 5, and you should end up with the same answer that we do using the chain rule. But we're practicing chain rule right now, so let's practice that. So rewritten number 5 like this. I want you guys to pause the video, try to take the chain rule using that function. Ready, set, go. Okay, check what you got with what I got. This is what you should have ended up with. Now let's try number 6. Number 6 gets a little trickier because number 6 is a chain rule inside a product rule. So we're going to have a product rule here. First one, and I'm going to rewrite this as 1/3. Take that cube root, turn it into a fractional exponent. And I have the first times the second, so I'm going to take the derivative of both of these. Here's my chain rule. So this is going to be u to the 1/3. So I take the derivative of the mommy function times the derivative of the baby function, which is going to be negative 8x. And then I'm going to substitute u back in there. And this is what I've got. Now I need to do the product rule. Remember, product rule starts on the left, and we multiply. So I've got f prime of x is going to be 3x squared times 1/3 9 minus 4x squared to the negative 2/3 times negative 8x plus, this is product rule, so we're adding. Now I do the other direction. 9 minus 4x squared all to the 1/3 times 6x. And that should be our answer. And remember, we do not need to simplify things. That's one of the beauties of AP Calculus. Okay, last one. Number 7 gets interesting because it's a mommy with a baby with a baby. So this one, let's rewrite this first off to sine of 4t squared, all of this cubed. So I'm going to start on the outside and then multiply, layer by layer. So I start by taking the derivative of the mommy function. This mommy function is u cubed. So the derivative of that is going to be 3u squared times this next function in here. I've got sine of, let's use a different letter, let's say r. So sine of, this is all my r. So now I'm going to multiply by the derivative of this baby. So derivative of sine is cosine all times by the derivative of the innermost baby. We have finally reached the center. The derivative of that is 8t. And now I can go back in and substitute all my things. So u was my sine of 4t squared. R was my 4t squared, and then my 8t. So we had 3 different layers of chain rule in that one. Okay, last one. Given this data, find the following. So this right here, notice, this is a product rule because we are multiplying. You had a question similar to this on your test. So product rule, f prime of x, I could create my cross rectangle. So the derivative of the first is p prime of x. Derivative of the second is q prime of x. We don't know what they are specifically, so we just label it generally. And then product rule, I'm going to start on the left and do my diagonals. I need a little bit more space than this. So f prime of x is going to be, first one, p of x, times, do my cross, q prime of x, plus, because this is product rule, now I do my other cross, q of x times p prime of x. So that's my product rule, and now I want to specifically find f prime of 2. So that means I'm going to do just go through and replace all the x's with 2's. And now I can use my table to plug things in. So p of 2, right there, would be 5 times q prime of 2 would be 6 plus q of 2 would be 3 times p prime of 2 would be 7. And you can simplify that, but once again, you don't need to. One of the beauties of AP Calculus. Now let's try B. This is not a product rule. This is a chain rule. Notice we have a mommy function and a baby function. So for this one, for h prime of x, we're going to have p of u, take the derivative of the mommy, so p prime of u, times by the derivative of the baby, so q prime of x, and then replace u with our baby, so p prime of q of x times q prime of x. And I want to find h prime of 2, so go through and replace all your x's with 2's. And now we start to evaluate. So this one, I have p prime of, sorry, that should be a 2. Q of 2. So Q of 2 is going to be 3 times Q prime of 2 is 6. Now this one I can't leave yet because I still haven't evaluated P prime of 3. So P prime of 3 is 8 times my 6. And there we go. Now you're done. So that's everything with the chain rule. You can go ahead and get started on your assignment.